As the country continues to be gripped by the oil leak in the Gulf of Mexico, we here at the Center for Individual Freedom send our thoughts and prayers to all those who have been affected by this utter catastrophe. As a resident of Florida's Gulf Coast, I am all too familiar with the devastation this spill is causing for local families already dealing with a difficult economy. Their suffering is our suffering. And we anxiously anticipate the day when life can return to normal on this beautiful stretch of the nation's coastline. At this time of urgent need, we expect our representatives in Washington to focus on the need for recovery in the Gulf. But unfortunately, there are cynical politicians out there who are looking to use the spill as cover for a radical agenda. The White House that told us that it was never going to let a crisis go to waste seems to be staying true to its promise. Using the rationale that this oil spill should be a wake-up call about the danger of traditional energy sources, liberals are trying to use it as a springboard for the passage of cap and trade, their devastating plan to send energy prices skyrocketing. The most honest liberals will actually admit to the destructive effects of cap and trade. On the campaign trail, President Obama even talked about how it would drive the coal industry into bankruptcy. That may have been the last time that he was honest about the proposal. Ever since, the president has been trying to sell it on the basis that it would create green jobs. This couldn't be further from the truth. A little common sense is all it takes to see what is so dangerous about this proposal. Americans don't rely on fuel sources like oil and coal because there is something inherently lovable about them. They simply choose the most affordable, reliable sources of energy so that they can have as much money as possible left to tend to their families, their businesses, and their mortgages. The only way to change that equation is to make energy more expensive, and that's exactly what liberals have in mind. If they get their way, cap and trade becomes law. It will cost the average American family of four about $4,500 a year. In the aggregate, that means sucking nearly $10 trillion out of the nation's GDP. The result will be a massive green bailout, with the government funneling the money to inefficient energy sources like wind and solar. In addition, the same Wall Street firms that got bailed out at taxpayer expense would get richer, serving as the brokers for the emissions credits that the bill envisions. Even though this administration claims to champion science, the data on cap and trade is in, and it isn't encouraging. Under Spain's cap and trade plan, for instance, 2.2 jobs are lost for every one green job that's created. The results? High unemployment, massive government subsidies, and a sputtering economy. That doesn't sound exactly like some new ground for President Obama, but it's something that we could do without more of. That's this week's Freedom Minute.